everyone, and welcome to my season 3, My Power of Small, where little things in life make a big difference. I'm Dr. Gina Anderson. I'm a learning scientist and CEO of Luma Brighter Learning, and I believe that the smallest actions can spark extraordinary change. And if you're someone who believes that growth doesn't have to be overwhelming and it starts just with one step, then this season is for you. Each week this season, I'm going to explore how tiny shifts in our mindset and our daily habits or learning moments can lead to massive transformation at work, in your relationships, and at life. These tiny mental shifts are part of learning. It's why I created Luma Brighter Learning and its connected learning platform that brings learning to life at all 5 interaction modes. If you want to learn more about Luma, go to lumabrighterlearning.com. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, on Spotify, and so you never ever miss an episode. And if something inspires you today, drop a comment or share your story. I'd love to hear how small things are making an impact in your world because the power of small matters. And today I'm going to bring on our special guest, and we are so lucky to have her here today. And I am so excited to introduce you to Josee Madison. And if you want to meet someone who's making an impact for other people in their life, you need to know her. And we are going to learn from her today. She is an impactful storyteller, a keynote speaker. She's an author. She's going to release a new book soon, I think. She's going to tell us all about it. But she is an awesome, awesome human being. And I wanted her on my season this year because, well, she's just an incredible person. Thank you for joining me today. Tell everyone who you are and what you're passionate about.
Oh my God, Gina, I cannot believe I'm here with you. I was like dreaming about this day because from the first time we met, I'm like, I need to give her a hug. So I'm giving you a virtual hug right now because
I love it.
You are impactful for sure. And it takes one to know one, my friend. I'm Josee Madison. I am a speaker, author, retreat leader. I am absolutely passionate about self-awareness because without self-awareness, you can't see the small things because you're not within yourself. You know, I love teaching. Lucky on Purpose is my keynote because I'd like to teach how to be so much aware of yourself that you can create your own luck, your intentional success, which is also aligned. I'm passionate about. I can talk for hours about that, and I'm so glad that you have me here today, so I can talk about it today too.
Yeah, I love that. So, thinking about self-awareness, what do you think about this idea of small being mighty? Like, what's one moment for you in your journey that changed everything, that maybe made you more aware?
My mindset, and I will give you a quick trick of how small actions can actually change your mind really quickly. And even if you're listening right now or looking at us, I'm going to ask your audience to look around your office or wherever you are. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. But if find anything that's red. So look around and look for anything that's red. Okay. Yes, you've got that. Look around. Okay. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. How many blue things did you see?
Oh,
whoa, right? So self-awareness is being aware of everything around you in that sense that when you train your brain to focus on one thing, it'll focus on that one thing, whether it's negative or positive. So this small moment that I taught you to look for red, your brain's like, oh, on it. But then when I asked you for blue, your brain's like, oh, Gina, you didn't ask for blue. Wait a minute. What's going on? And so this small shift you can do in your brain can impact you for a bigger life. Because now you can focus on, this is what I want to see more today.
Oh, I love that. What do you want to see more of today? I think that's beautiful. I love that. I think about this thing, people have roadblocks and hurdles in their life. Has there been a roadblock or hurdle that you can remember that, you stood in front of, but you found the the chance between the small action that maybe helped you overcome what you thought maybe was impossible at the time.
Yes. Belief,
Hey.
belief that
Mm,
I remember when and this is might be small. It is small. When I was 12 years old,
yeah.
I wanted a bicycle, and we were not rich, so we
Mhm,
often had secondhand things. And I
mhm,
brand new bike that was just for me with my own bell and everything. And my mom said, Jose, we can't afford it.
mm,
I thought, you know what? That's okay, mom. I'll figure it
mhm,
out.
mm.
I got a paper route. I started a babysitting service. I was so
Oh,
busy that I had to
yeah.
hire my friends to like co-contract for me, because I was just like, I can't be at two places at once. So I would hire my friends to babysit this one place while I was on the other.
Oh.
And so these for me, hurdles have always
Mhm,
been opportunities.
mm,
And I think that even though I've had hurdles, and I still have, we're always going
mhm,
to have hurdles, but I
mhm,
think is to change them into opportunities. Like if I'm having this challenge
mhm,
again, how can I change my mind to see an opportunity as opposed to I can't? How can I change that into I can? And I often teach my audience this when I say, or when someone says, it's impossible. Well,
mhm.
if you look at impossible, the word I'm possible is in there.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, right. Have everyone write that.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible. I'm possible.
Mm-hmm.
We should say that together. It's so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Thank you for
I'm
saying that.
possible.
I
Yes.
am possible. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Do you know? I bet you did you meet Courtney Beck? I'm sure you did because she was on my podcast last week and she actually, I think, sent the question for her person to you. And then
Yes, she did.
she said that you guys connected and she was so excited and she came up with this question for you.
Yes.
She was all about lucky on purpose. She said, if you allow yourself to be lucky on purpose, what version of you would you become and what excites you the most on that? Look, you have lucky on purpose right there on your sign.
I know. So I know for me, lucky on purpose is about creating my success intentionally. And when I say this, is to focus on what I want to see more of. Okay. And
Mm,
these are very small, simple, small acts
mm,
that you can do
mm,
that
mm,
will propel you towards your career. So for me, I sold my wellness center back in December because I wanted to focus more on finishing my book
mm,
and my retreats, and also gaining more experience and reaching more audience on stages as a speaker. And
mhm,
so this is what lucky on purpose for me looks like, is
mhm,
I'm focusing on seeing more opportunities to speak on stage, to teach leaders that
mm,
you can change your mindset by being self-aware, where you are interested in your work. A
mm,
lot of times we are in a job where we're like, this person is like this, or this, my boss is like that. But we're focusing on the wrong things. We're
mhm,
focusing on the things that through our own experience.
mhm,
But what I would encourage you is to think about, well, what's good in this?
mm,
What is this saying about me? Not
mm,
about the other person, but what is this saying about me that I can change my
mm,
own situation? It doesn't mean
mhm,
that you have to leave the job. It
mhm,
means learning to pay attention to your thoughts. Why am I thinking this way? Is it a
mm,
pattern? Is it a habit? Am I angry about something that I brought to work that it has
mm,
nothing to do with the work? So lucky on purpose for me is seeing more opportunities for speaking, finishing my book, and continue moving on to prayers that I get my publishing deal, and just, yeah, I mean,
I
being
think it's
worldwide
great.
known as a speaker and author, a thought leader, and a very fun transformational storyteller. I love to tell stories.
I love that. I know I had dinner with you and it was so engaging to talk with you and you're just so beautiful inside and out. I wanted to ask you, what keeps you happy every day? I mean, I know that there's like a lot of work,
Mhm.
and there's a lot going on, but what do you do to keep yourself happy?
Honesty.
Mm, I love
Every
that.
morning, well, I have to say, um, I wasn't always like this,
Mm.
you know. Um, uh, as someone who comes from a background of addiction,
Mhm.
and toxicity in my life due to my own thinking and my own doing, my own decisions, um, I realized that happiness is an inside job.
Mm.
And I learned that when I was 41, when I burnt out working in the music industry and all of that. And I realized that happiness has nothing to do with someone that has to make me happy. It's my responsibility. And now, after 17 years of sobriety and research on what actually makes me happy is
Mhm.
honesty with myself. And again, it all comes back to self awareness. Every
Mhm.
morning I wake up and I spend at least, sometimes it can be 5 minutes.
Mhm.
If I have more time, I spend more time and I just reflect on my
Mm.
day. I reflect on what do I want to see more of today? You know,
Mm.
what am I committed to?
Mm.
And if I'm not happy, what can
Mhm.
I change? Because it's about me. It's not
Mhm.
about the world. It's the world's responsibility. What can I change for my own happiness? And if I'm not,
Mhm.
even if it's with my husband, we had a
Mhm.
disagreement not too long ago, and I said, "Babe, this is on me." Instead
Mhm.
of blaming him, I was like, "No, what's going on with me that I'm not happy with this right now?"
Mhm.
And it's because I had an expectation. So what makes me happy is being honest with my own intentions, my own agendas, you know, and
Wow.
and what is it that I need to do for my own happiness.
Wow. That is so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's hard. It's hard to have an addiction.
Hmm.
It's hard to let go of things that are toxic. I started my podcast 3 years ago because I was asking the learners what they wanted to learn about. We work with truck drivers, and they were saying
Mm.
they were depressed. And this was about the time that the Surgeon General released the study that we were in a loneliness epidemic. And it's not surprising if you have a truck driver over the road by themselves without their family,
Yeah.
without their loved ones, who are feeling isolated and alone. They're depressed. Just last 2 weeks ago, I had a client call me and say one of their drivers committed suicide.
Hmm.
It's real. It's not just in trucking. It's everywhere. And I wanted to ask you, having gone through something like that, specifically, an addiction, what would you recommend to someone, specifically of how they should wake up the next day and move forward? Because some days, some of these folks don't think they can.
Hmm.
Like what recommendation would you have for them?
For me, and I can speak for me, I had to realize that what and where I was in life was because of my own choices. And some of them were because I was hanging on to anger, resentment, and blame. And
Mm,
it's funny that, you were talking about truckers. My father was on the road all the time. My father was a bus driver and we
mhm,
never saw him.
mhm,
And I know that that was a struggle for him but that's what he knew how to provide. He was on the road. He loved the road, but I
mhm,
could tell that it must have been a lonely world.
mhm,
Today we talk about it. He's in his 80s and he tells me, at times it was lonely, but that's what I knew. And I did my
mhm,
best and he did his best. But for me, growing into an addiction, I had so many issues in terms of anger and blame that alcohol for me was my way to numb my insecurities, numb my
mhm,
fears. I'm a high achiever. It's very
mhm,
difficult to admit when you need help. It's very
mhm,
difficult to call a friend and say, I'm lonely. Because as high
mhm,
achievers, or even as a speaker or whatever I'm doing as a leader, it's hard to admit that you have weaknesses. But
mhm.
we're human. We're
Yeah.
human. I had to realize that I needed to come clean with, again, blaming the world for my choices. And
Mhm,
this may be hard to hear, but that was the only way that for me, I had to say, you know what? There's got to be something out there for me that I need to work on. And
mhm,
spirituality was a big one for me.
mhm,
I wasn't a big person believing in God because God, I didn't feel God was there for me when I was a child. I was like,
mhm,
but having said that, I realized that there is a God of anybody's understanding. God is not just one type of God. This is how I see it. God
Mhm.
speaks to us in a way that we need to be spoken to in any way, shape, or form, because there wouldn't be, that's why we have many religions. God speaks
Mhm.
different languages. That's how I see
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And I had to realize that God didn't give me my troubles. I caused those.
Mm.
And that I'm not alone, that I can ask for help, that I
Mhm.
can say that I don't have control over everything. I used alcohol a lot because I was insecure, and I
Mm.
and I, I couldn't deal with my insecurities. I felt like an imposter in somebody's going to find me out. So by drinking, I was numbing all this pain. I was
Mm.
numbing all my fears. Um, but we're human. We all have
Mm.
fears, you
Mm.
know. And so when you are lonely, again, honesty, honesty,
Mm.
honesty, honesty. Say, I need a friend, or hey,
Yes, I need a friend.
yes, I need a friend,
I know. I
especially as
love that.
entrepreneurs, it's a very lonely world. And I too sometimes, and I'm so glad I have 3 cats, because then I can take a break and look at them and they're sleeping. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you're just in my company. You're not doing anything much, but you're just there. And I
I
don't feel
love
so
that.
alone, you
I
know?
love that. You are so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. So next week on my podcast, I have Jill Scaninelli, and she's
Mhm.
awesome. I actually went and got my photos done. She is my photographer's assistant, and she's into cosmetics. She knows so much about makeup. I mean, she is like so smart with makeup and knows a lot about beauty, and she's going to come on. We're going to have a special night session because she has to work all day. So we're going to go live at 7 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
But
That's
we're going to
cool.
do an evening session. And what should we ask her about this? What should we ask her? What do you think?
I have a great question for her.
Okay, let's do it.
I wrote it down because it's a little long, but it's good.
Okay.
The beauty industry is shifting fast.
Mm.
More public figures are embracing a natural look. From
Ooh.
your perspective, what impact does this have on how women view beauty and confidence today?
Wow, I love that. That's a good one. Thank you for coming up with that. Oh my gosh, just think of all the pressure. There's so many pressures we all have, but to kind of bring this back to your passion,
Mhm.
what would you just say to that person that's listening and feeling that pressure? What do you think? We got to just think about that. Like it's
Yes.
hard.
Well, we're not taught to just accept ourselves for who we are. We're
Mm,
taught, and I'm not saying this to bash anything or anyone. There's a lot of pressure that we put our own selves to be something that sometimes we're not,
mm,
you know,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
we're not taught self-awareness in schools. We're taught to be this, to do that, to go to school, to get the house, have the kids, have a degree. And at some point we get lost, you
Mm,
know, some of us. Some of us
mm,
find ourselves and go, no, this is not the route I want to take. This is what feels better for me. And to be okay with that, you know, we all have a passion. We all have a purpose.
mm,
Um, and it's important to keep that in mind, you
mm.
know.
So important. Thank you so much. Where can people find out more about you? Where can they read your book or your books that are coming? Or where can they connect to you with you to go on a retreat? We're going to put
Yes.
all this in the comments, but I want to hear it straight from you.
In 2026, we're having a retreat in Costa Rica, January 24 to
Oh, I love
31st.
that. Our team went to Costa Rica. It's
Oh,
amazing.
I've been
Oh,
there a few. This is my 6th retreat, and it's the second one at that particular retreat
okay.
center. I rented the whole space to myself. So it's
Oh,
like
I
a
love
little,
it.
it'll be an intimate setting for
Mhm.
25 people.
Wow.
I have 9 spots left. There's 5 private casitas, and we're on the top of the jungle. And the
Ooh,
theme,
the
I know it's,
monkeys. The monkeys are going to be there.
yes,
Watch
they
out. They'll
stole
be
our,
like,
but they stole our fruits the last time
"You
in the
did?"
kitchen. It was so funny. They're like, they're not dangerous, but they're small. And
No.
we were just sitting at the kitchen, and all of a sudden we see one go through the kitchen window and then
Oh.
grab, I think it was a pear or something, and whoop, they
Mm.
just left. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
Okay. I love that. I know a good bus driver if you need one
Mm,
in Costa Rica. Kaler is amazing. So, Kaler, if you're watching, I'm giving you a
oh,
props. He's the best
yes.
bus driver in Costa Rica.
The people there are amazing.
Amazing.
So it's 7 days. There'll be 4 days, 4 mornings of workshops
Hmm.
from my Smarter Living blueprint, which is tied to the Lucky on Purpose, how to retrain and rewire your mind for exactly like that little exercise I taught you earlier, how
I
to train
love
your mind to
that.
see what you want to see more of in your life. And you'll have plenty of time to to explore Costa Rica. 3 days of doing that. Your afternoons are free as well to do reflect or explore. We'll have some beginner-friendly yoga classes. We'll teach you how to meditate.
Wow.
When you see on the website, www.joseemadison.com, you click on retreat and all the information is there.
Okay.
With the price, you've got your casitas and all meals are included, and it's fresh, organic. The people there is just amazing.
Yes.
And I wanted to go back there because, and I mean, I don't know, it says a lot about 65% of my retreat guests are return guests.
Oh,
So
yes.
I'm like, I must be doing something good. Everybody's like, your next retreat, I'm in. I got to be the first one to book. And I'm like, okay. So it filled up really fast.
Yeah.
And then so we've got one large room that has 5 beds. It's a beautiful, spacious room with 2 bathrooms. So if you have you and 4 friends that you want to come and enjoy this retreat.
I think you're pitching me right now.
Yes, I am. I would love to see you. And then we've got 5 private casitas for a solo or couples or 3 people. It depends on your goals and if you want to come with your husband or your friends. So that is January 24 to the 31st. And also on my website, you'll find all the information if you're looking for a self-leadership coach, yes, but I do mostly speaking on summits and whatnot. My information is there on my website as well. And I'm just thrilled. I'm just giddy right now, just talking with you. I'm like, oh my God. Yes.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on my podcast today. I hope everyone connects and, it is a mindset. It is, really, we control our happiness inside of us, and it's a learning science principle that's proven. It's, in literature. And I really appreciate you coming and sharing where people can learn more. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time. All right, everyone. We'll see you. I hope you have a really great week, and we will see you on Wednesday.